So I've been making myself a priority for the past few days, kind of prioritizing myself, kind of focusing on my self dedication and my like discipline, right? And it made me realize, you know, kind of shut everything out. I've kind of been just focusing on focusing in on myself, what brings me joy, what brings me happiness, making myself a priority, right? Making nice espresso for myself, you know. And I've come to realize that it's the only way to live. And you have to make yourself a priority. And I know that, and the first thing that we're taught as kids and taught by society is to sort of shift our awareness to other people and to be kind of selfless. And that's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because you start to forget about yourself. You start to forget about the things that you need, the things that keep you going. You can't really pour anything else into other people's cups if there's not a whole lot in yours, right? You have to make your cup overflow so that you can go and care about other people. You kind of have to be selfish. And I know we live in a society where selfishness is looked down upon because of the people who are selfish publicly and what they have done with that selfishness. And they haven't converted they haven't transmuted that selfishness into selflessness. And I think the biggest thing that you can do is make yourself a priority and focus in on yourself because look, you got to at the end of the day you got to answer to yourself. And if you go through a majority of your life prioritizing other people, prioritizing other things that other worlds that are not yours, your world's going to be empty. Your world, the thing that you're creating is going to be empty because um, there will have been nothing that has filled you up by yourself. You have to fill up your own cup before you can fill up other people's. You gotta put on your mask first. If the plane is crashing, you gotta put on your mask first, right? And then put on other people's masks. Because how are you supposed to help people if you can't help yourself? If you can't help yourself, how are you supposed to help other people? And this is the biggest thing I've realized is another thing is just being inundated with you should be like this, you should be like that, you should engage with the world in this way or that way. It shrinks your worldview down to what the idea of you is and not just you, just living, and unfortunately, if you want to keep living and if you want to be able to truly help people, you have to help yourself. And it really sucks. It really does suck. But if you don't make yourself a priority and all of that stuff, it can lead down very dangerous paths, I've learned. Because for a very long time, I was prioritizing the idea of me based off of other people and all of that stuff. And you got to be disciplined with it. You got to really make yourself a priority in regard to like discipline, right? Discipline is a very, very important aspect of that, which includes if you say you're going to do something, do it. If you if you if you say something you're not going to do it, then don't say it. Just move with intention and dedication, and anything is yours. Anything is yours. And sometimes this requires isolating yourself from others, especially if you're around a lot of people who are negative, backbiters, people who talk behind other people's backs. I don't stand for that. And this is going to be a little bit of a tangent. Ooh, there was a hair in This cup. What the hell? This is a little bit of a tangent, but what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Discipline. I forgot what I was saying. Just realize that you live in your own body, and that's what I was gonna say. Talking behind people's backs. Talking behind people's backs. That's right. Completely spaced out there for a second. Anyways, talking behind people's backs is very bad. And the reason why, and I don't stand for that, because that attracts that into your life. So when you talk behind people's backs, when you backbite and all of that sort of thing, you are essentially attracting that energy into your life, and you're going to surround yourself with fake people who, as soon as you leave, they're talking behind your back. And as soon as you come back into their company, you're all talking about someone else behind their back, and it creates all these facades in your life with no real relationships and with no real maneuverability or any sort of intention, right? I would rather have a hard conversation with someone than to live in ignorance of how they are treating me behind closed doors. That's not cool. And it makes you it diminishes your own self-trust. It makes it harder for you to commit to things, because if you can just say that you did something and not do it, and the people around you will believe you, then right, like, you can just not do anything and have all of the satisfaction of saying that you did something. So just some things to keep in mind. Prioritize yourself, have self-discipline, and don't talk behind people's backs. Love you guys.